Passengers will be able to get refunds in the original mode of payment for flight disruptions under amendments to the Malaysian Aviation Consumer Protection Code. This is targeted to be implemented in the first quarter of 2023. In a statement, the Malaysian Aviation Commission said that this new position will effectively eliminate any inconsistencies in types of refunds accorded to customers. MAVCOM further proposes that airlines should offer a refund in the original mode of payment should a flight be delayed. The new provision is just one of the changes proposed in the 2022 MACPC to protect consumers who have paid money in advance for flight tickets or travel passes if the airline is unable to render services as promised. This is in event of a financial crisis such as a debt restructuring exercise, liquidation or licensing issues. MAVCOM said that if an airline anticipates disruption to its operations, it is proposed that the airline should notify and submit a plan detailing consumer redress to the regulator, which can then take appropriate steps. MAVCOM Executive Chairman Datuk Sri Saripudin Kasim says that as part of its effort to champion the rights of aviation consumers, it is proposing changes to the MACPC to better address gaps that have come to light post-COVID-19. Since the MACPC came into force in 2016, airlines are required to refund travellers if flights are cancelled or significantly changed. The inability of airline passengers to get cash refunds on flights that were cancelled as a result of the pandemic was one of the top complaints received by MAVCOM. Some cash-strapped airlines were only offering the choice of a travel voucher or rebooking for flights cancelled rather than providing cash refunds. Saripudin said that stakeholder engagements on these proposed enhancements are already underway following the release of its consultation paper, which is also open to feedback from the public. The last amendment made to the MACPC in 2019 included eliminating hidden charges for air travel to ensure greater transparency of airlines' obligations towards consumers and clearer guidance for consumers on their rights and interests as air travellers. Pemodaran Nasional says that it plans to vote against Hong Leong Bank's proposal to issue and allot shares, citing insufficient disclosure on the matter as the reason. However, in a statement, PNB said that it plans to vote in favour of the remaining 8 proposals at the bank's AGM that is currently scheduled for October 27th. PNB is listed among HLB's 30 largest shareholders. According to HLB's AGM notice, the remaining 8 proposals include the re-elections of the group's directors and reappointment of PricewaterhouseCoopers as the bank's auditor. HLB's latest annual report showed that PNB and its related entities collectively own a 2.33% stake in the bank as at August 30th. Hong Leong Financial Group is the largest shareholder with 64.23%. Earlier in the month, PNB had voted against Burmaz Auto's general mandate to issue new shares at its recent AGM, with the reasoning that the group did not reveal details of its rationale for the exercise and usage for the funds. PNB ultimately failed in its bid to block the mandate. Glomac has projected that its sales for FY23 will surpass the 160 million recorded for the previous financial year on the back of upcoming project launches. Group MD and CEO Datuk Sri Fateh Iskandar Mohamed Mansour says sales of 120 to 125 million were recorded so far for the first 2 quarters of FY23. For this year, he says that along with the projected launches, there will be about 469 million in new launches, which will mostly take place in the second half of FY23. Fateh Iskandar says the planned launches would focus on market demand, adding that Glomac is well placed to capitalise on them given that it has full spectrum of developments to offer. He adds that Glomac's longer-term prospects remain intact, underpinned by a healthy balance sheet and a strong pipeline of future development projects that have a potential estimated GDV of 8 billion ringgit that are largely located within the Klang Valley. While the reopening of the economy bodes well for all sectors, including property development, Fateh Iskandar notes that the underlying concerns remain, especially over rising interest rates and labour shortages. As such, he hopes there would be a balance between rate hikes and affordability, especially new home purchases for potential buyers, to afford better borrowing margins which would not impact them too much. Hexstar Technology Solutions share price hit a record high of 7 ringgit 50 today, topping Bursa Malaysia's top gainers list. While the counter eventually paired part of the gains to end the day at 7 ringgit 10, this was still 13% or 81 cent higher than its Tuesday close of 6 ringgit 29. Some 264,700 shares were transacted during the day. Based on the closing price, Hexstar is valued at 913.4 million and is trading at a PE ratio of 70.6 times. Hexstar's sharp share price rally managed to trigger an unusual market activity query from Bursa Malaysia. In response, the group said it was not aware of any corporate developments, rumour or report, or any other possible explanations for the rally. Formerly known as Complete Logistics Services, the group changed its name in July this year after proposing to diversify its business into the technology sector. Businessman Dato' Eddie Ong Chu Meng, who is also CEO of Hexstar Group, became the group's largest shareholder in March 2021 after acquiring a 29.18% stake. The Macau Special Administrative Region is said to have unconditionally accepted Genting, Malaysia's bid for the award of a new 10-year gaming concession involving casino operations there, GGR Asia reported. According to GGR Asia, the information was reported on Tuesday by the Portuguese language radio service of public broadcaster TDM. Genting Malaysia had initially on September 15th announced the bid done through its subsidiary GMM. The gaming group had called it an opportunity to expand its business in the leisure and hospitality sector, diversify its geographical footprint, and participate in the recovery prospects of Macau's gaming segment. GGR Asia reported TDM as saying that the other 6 bidders, incumbent operators Galaxy Entertainment Group, Melco Resorts and Entertainment, MGM China Holdings, Sands China, SJM Holdings and Wynn Macau, had been notified on September 15th of the authorities' decision on their respective bids. According to reports, GMM's bid had only been accepted on a conditional basis on September 16th, but with it becoming unconditional, that means that there are now officially 7 bids for the 6 gaming concessions that are currently up for grabs.